What's up, guys? Welcome back to Supreme Micah. So in this upload, what I want to talk about is meal prepping and how that may be important to your overall goals in bodybuilding, or at least attempting to gain muscle mass. So let's talk about the benefits. One benefit is that it will keep you on track to eating healthy. Ideally, you will limit the sugar cravings that you would normally get throughout the day. When you're hungry, you're naturally going to reach for the nearest food around you. And most of the time, that is processed junk food or possibly fast food. So when you're meal prepping, you're literally keeping yourself in line to exactly what you need out of your goals. Your overall goals will be easier to accomplish if you're attempting to cut or possibly gain muscle. In the most case, then you'll be able to track the amount of calories, carbs, fat, and overall any other nutrient that you need in order to track for your fitness goals. Now, when I'm having conversations with people in regards to meal prepping, many of them have this idea in their head that they should be meal prepping small meals, 6 meals throughout the day. Okay, so this will depend, it will vary depending on your goals, whether or not if you're attempting to gain muscle or if you're attempting to cut or lose weight or fat overall. So you would say someone who's bodybuilding will typically have more meals, but that's not necessarily the case. I would say, although if you are a bodybuilder, I would say typically 5 meals will be ideal if you're aiming for muscle mass. The amount of meals that someone has only depends on their goals. Those meals typically could be high in calories, low in calories, high in protein, or lower in protein. But the consensus that you want to think of is, what are your goals? Are you attempting to gain muscle? So in this case, you could have 3 meals spread throughout the day where one can technically meet most of your calorie needs, whereas the rest of the meals simply is adding more calories than what you would normally consume, which would be the additional calories that you would need in order to actually fulfill your needs to gain muscle, for an example. There's a lot of factors into the amount of meals that you will consume throughout the day. One factor that you want to keep in mind, which is extremely important, and a lot of people forget about this, is the amount of calories that you're actually burning throughout the day, especially when you're in the gym. So especially if you're attempting to gain muscle, that's something that you really want to keep in mind. If you are on a calorie surplus, then make sure that you're calculating how many calories you're burning while you're at the gym, because you actually need those additional calories that you are burning. And going back to some of my original content that you can actually catch here, I do talk about how running can actually affect your amount of muscle mass depending on how frequently you are doing it. And that goes the same as if you are in the gym and you're burning those same calories. Another important factor to keep in mind as well is that some people's metabolisms are actually just different. Some people may have slower metabolisms, whereas some may have higher metabolisms. I've just created a video about this most recently, and this goes down to your genetics, and it simply is, what type of body type are you? Are you an ectomorph? Are you a mesomorph? Are you an endomorph? So a lot of that kind of encounters into how you will respond to those calories once they're consumed. Some people burn these calories at a higher rate, meaning that they can eat a lot more. And if you know that, then that's something that you can take as your advantage. If you're wondering why you're possibly not gaining muscle mass, then you can actually take that into consideration. So this is another important topic that I really wanted to talk about, which is actually what I enjoyed researching most. So in regards to muscle mass, it doesn't necessarily depend on the amount of meals that you're having throughout the day. As a bodybuilder or someone who's focusing on building muscle mass, you should be focused on the amount of calories that you're consuming, also the amount of protein, carbs, and other nutrients that you feel will meet your dietary needs at that time. Research suggests that it's not necessarily the amount of the meals that you're having throughout the day. It's actually the amount of calories that you're consuming, the amount of protein and other nutrients that you feel will meet your fitness goals. Although most recent studies suggest that eating multiple meals throughout the day isn't impactful to whatever fitness goals that you have, it does help eating every 3 to 4 hours in regards to craving your sugar intake. So this goes back to what I was mentioning earlier in this video. You being able to meal prep will only help lower the pressure that your body naturally as a human will get in regards to whatever it sees around you in eating it. So that will help. So something else that I wanted to talk about was spreading meals throughout the day. Many bodybuilders are able to consume the amount of calories that they need in their fitness goal differently. Some prepare their meals throughout the day, eating every 3 to 4 hours. Some of us actually fast throughout the day, where maybe we don't eat breakfast, or we do eat breakfast and then we don't eat lunch, and that can range between maybe 3 to 4 hours of fasting. But you really want to make sure that you're doing that correctly, and I would suggest if you do fast that you do consult a doctor first. Then there are other bodybuilders who will consume all their necessary calories depending on whatever their fitness goals were within one time frame throughout the day. And that can be between 2 to 4 hours of a window to eat. Guys, I prepared a fitness video for you, so watch this. Guys, as always, I really appreciate you for tuning into this channel. Make sure that you subscribe. Also, leave a comment and hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.